Hi everyone, Bill here from the Galway Cycle Training Committee. Delighted that you've signed up for this year's 444 Galway Cycle event on the 2nd to the 5th of April this year. Obviously very different than previous years, but we're very excited about it and we're delighted that you've signed up. What I want to do today is just give you an insight into the training plan for the cycle. Kind of similar to what we've done in previous years, with small increases each week, but try to build in a little bit of recovery spins, but also maybe try and build in a little bit more of the interval training during the cycle spins. What we're planning, and we hope to be able to bring people to be able to comfortably cycle 400 kilometers over the 4 days of the event, either cycling 200 kilometers on Friday the 2nd of April, and then another 200 kilometers on Monday the 5th of April, with 2-day recovery in between. Or I suppose ideally, that you might consider cycling 100 kilometers each day, which is about 4 hours each day, and then some recovery in between. So it's up to yourselves how you might want to manage that. So what I'll do is just show you the plan that we've come up with, and this will be available on the website. So you can see, starting on the 16th, 17th of January, just go out and have a leisurely spin, and maybe explore where you might be doing some of your spins depending on the restrictions at the time. So just go out there and enjoy yourself. And then midweek, you do either a short recovery spin or possibly a brisk walk, at least in the first couple of weeks. So then, as you can see, we've structured it in weeks, with the week beginning on the Saturday, Sunday, and then the midweek recovery. And that repeats itself with an increase each week of about 10 kilometers. Now, it's obviously going to be difficult to motivate yourself when you're out by yourself. So we have tried to build in a little bit of interval, mainly to get your heart rate up while you're out for your spin. And this really would consist of, for example, on the week 2, for the 30k spin, to cycle 2 kilometers at a higher speed, but ultimately higher heart rate, for between 2 and 5 kilometers, depending on what you're comfortable with at the time. So think about that. Now, that might be taking in a few hills to try and get your heart rate up, but I think it will be important that you try and push yourself a little bit for a short period of time. And then over the weeks, for example, in week 4, when you're doing the 50k spin, you do 2k or 2 kilometer sections at a faster speed or at a higher heart rate. And you'd be building that up. For example, on the 70k, you do 3 2 kilometers. So you're doing about 10% of the distance at a higher tempo each week. Now, so that's the plan, and you'd work your way up to doing approximately 110 kilometers by week 10, and then you do your taper the week before the actual cycle on the 2nd to the 5th of April, where you would plan to do the 400 kilometers, or up to that. It's whatever you're comfortable doing and what you would like to try. We will be putting up other videos over the next couple of weeks, but I think in the first instance, especially for your first sort of leisurely spin, make sure your bike is safe. I'm not sure when you were on it last, so get it out of the shed or dust it down, and give it a once over if you have to bring it to your local bike shop, depending on the restrictions and if they're open or not. Most bike shops are open to deal with repairs and making your bike safe. So you could give them a ring ahead of schedule and see if you can organize to book it in for a service. Always make sure that you carry a tube, a spare tube and a pump. Unfortunately, you won't have the GC bus behind you to pick you up and do your repairs or help you with your repairs. So make sure that you have the appropriate things to get yourself home. Really important to sit down beforehand and plan your route, and make sure someone knows where you're going and how long you're planning to be out for, and just so that they're aware of what you're up to. Bring a phone and make sure it's well charged up, because it might be the way by which you'll get home at the end of the day if you have to ring somebody because you have a mechanical or a puncture that you're not able to fix. Make sure you bring water and food that's suitable for the distance. And as I said, each week we'll be putting up tips and we'll give you some insight into that. And I suppose the most important thing, guys, I really can't stress this enough, and we will put up a link on this, is make sure that you're seen on the road. When you're out by yourself, you really need to be visible. So front and back lights, I would recommend 100%, no matter how bright the day is. A high vis jacket as well would also be really, really important. So have a look through the training plan, plan out some distances, in your vicinity, depending on the restrictions at the time, even if it's just a loop around, your local roads, and make sure that you're seen on the road. And we'll keep in contact with everybody and put up links over the next couple of weeks. Thank you.